Welcome back to the Working Well podcast and the 52 Life Lessons series. I'm Tim Borys, and this is episode 4. Now, today's lesson is a powerful reminder that age is irrelevant. Creating change and chasing your goals has nothing to do with how many birthdays you celebrated. It has everything to do with starting now, learning quickly, and refusing to let age be your excuse. Now, I fell into this trap several times in my life. As a kid, I dreamed big. I had bold visions, wild goals. But more often than not, people told me to tone it down, saying, "Oh, that's too hard. Other people have tried that and failed," or "You're too young. Just wait." Eventually, and unfortunately, I let those voices convince me to lower my expectations. Instead of taking ownership of my timeline and my dreams, I started waiting for permission, waiting for the right time. I'm sure that probably sounds a bit familiar to you. I'm sure you've done it at some points in your life. But unfortunately for me, that mindset carried into adulthood. On the outside, I was doing great things: sports, traveling, building businesses. But inside, I'd fallen prey to a dangerous phrase, believing that, at my age, I shouldn't do this, or maybe I should do this at my age, instead of living into what I wanted to do. I caught myself putting off experiences and goals because they didn't feel appropriate or necessary at that stage in life, because I thought I was living into some vision of what I should be. Don't get me wrong. I'm not suggesting that you throw practicality out the window. In fact, one of my biggest regrets was not being more proactive in my teens and my 20s about money, savings, investing, planning for the future. I chased adventure. I've traveled the world to 50 countries, but I failed to plan for the future. And that mindset was something that caught up to me later. And of course, hindsight's 2020. We can always look back and catch things. But some of that ignorance, some of it was inaction. Looking back, I could have asked for help. I could have found those resources to make smarter choices, but I didn't. And yeah, again, that's hindsight. But I'm sharing this lesson so that you don't have to learn the hard way. Now, over the past few years, I've rediscovered something that I thought I'd lost: that childlike sense of possibility. Remember when the sky was the limit, when you believed you could do anything? Now, kids today are proving that's still true. And you don't have to look far to see it in action. And some of it's because I've regained this spark. My son, for example, he started his first business at 8 years old, selling, those fidget spinners. Remember them when they were all the rage? He had a profitable business for a while. At 10, he started another little company selling hummus and tapenade because he wanted to save up for a certain toy. Now, here's the point. His actions weren't massive. They weren't world-changing, but they were extremely impactful for him. And that's the key. You don't need to build a global empire to prove that action matters. What matters is taking a step that positively impacts your world right now and into the future. We've got teens building multi-million-dollar businesses and companies, launching global movements, redefining what's possible for their generation. On the other end of the spectrum, we have the baby boomer generation. They're breaking barriers about what retirement means and what aging looks like. They're running marathons, starting businesses, and living bigger lives at 60, 70, 80 than some people ever do in their prime. People in every generation are rewriting the script. So why not you? What are you waiting for? Now, here's something important to remember. We are living through the fastest pace of change in history, and this is the slowest it will ever be. Just let that sink in for a minute. So why are we clinging to the myth that it's too late or I'm too old? When the world is shifting this quickly, opportunity is everywhere if you choose to see it. And of course, there's a catch. Your brain is always going to try and talk you out of it. Fear, discomfort, uncertainty, doubt, they're all built-in defense mechanisms. But as we've heard before, success favors the people who lean in and act anyway. Embrace that fear, acknowledge it, and move forward to what you want to accomplish. Now, the difference, in that those approaches come down to mindset. When you see change through a fixed lens, it feels threatening. When you see it through a growth lens, it becomes an opportunity playground. And this is something I talk about in my 4 pillars of performance framework. Mindset, it sets the stage for everything else. Habits, movement, fuel, all of it flows from how you think about yourself and about the world around you. When you cultivate a growth mindset, you stop being blind to possibilities. You start seeing chances to improve your health, your career, your finances, your relationships, regardless of your age. So whatever age you are right now, 18, 38, 58, 88, your potential and possibility are right in front of you. So instead of waiting for the right time or for someone else's permission, start now. Learn as you go and adapt along the way. Seek help from people who promote you and are wanting to help see you succeed. They're out there. Go find them, because age is irrelevant. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 4 of the 52 Life Lessons series. This was a short one. Hopefully it was impactful for you. If you're enjoying these lessons, make sure you subscribe and check out our other episodes at timborys.com/podcast or on your favorite streaming service. We'll see you on the next episode. That wraps up another episode of the Working Well podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Now, which guests or topics would you like to see featured on the show? Message me through LinkedIn or on the contact page of timborys.com with your ideas. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Tim Borys with Fresh Wellness Group, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.